There are a number of churches that have basically become, from a house of worship of Christ and of God to a house of worship of Donald Trump. And if I look in the what I believe in the New Testament and the words of Jesus, it was all about not being involved in government. There's nothing wrong with being involved in government, but not living your life obsessed with it. It's about humans.
It's about humans and humanity, not government power. And that was Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger warning that some Christian churches have become a house of worship to Donald Trump. Indeed, there is growing anecdotal evidence and empirical data that Christian leaders have promoted Donald Trump and intensified the divisions across the United States. According to a recent AP poll, 81% of white Protestant Christians voted for Donald Trump in the 2020 election, compared to just 18% of white Protestant Christians who voted for Joe Biden. And in the aftermath of the 2020 election, several prominent Christian leaders and pastors, self-proclaimed prophets, insisted that Donald Trump was going to be reinstated as president and that Joe Biden's victory was going to be overturned. Congressman Kinzinger is urging these Christian leaders and others to repent.
I think the church played a huge role in how we got to where we are. I say the church generically, and I think the church will have to play a huge leadership role in getting us out of this moment. We need pastors, we need priests, we need leaders who are going to stand up in front of the pulpit and say, we welcome Democrats in this audience as well, and we're not going to sit here and worship Donald Trump because he's a very flawed man. In fact, all men are flawed. Instead, we're going to talk about what matters, which is human souls, and government, you go do your own thing when it comes to government.
In terms of government, Congressman Kinzinger is one of just 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump for inciting the January 6th insurrection and riot. The congressman also serves on the Special Select Committee investigating January 6th, as well as investigating Donald Trump's lies about the 2020 election and Trump's efforts to block Joe Biden's certification. In terms of his faith, Adam Kinzinger identifies as a Protestant Christian. In other words, he's in the minority in terms of political views of that particular brand of Christianity, and he has repeatedly been condemned by Protestant Christian and conservative leaders for his criticism of Donald Trump. Kinzinger has also been repeatedly criticized by members of his own family. A year ago, he released a letter to the New York Times from 11 family members calling Kinzinger a disappointment to us and to God. And these family members described Democrats as a devil's army.
Let me show again that handwritten letter that Congressman Kinzinger shared that he got from family members. And look, I find this letter actually very moving because it shows the personal level of how much people believe this, and it's breaking a family apart. It's quite sad. After saying Kinzinger is going against his Christian principles and has joined the devil's army, the letter goes on to say, President Trump is not perfect, but neither are you or any of us for that matter. It is not for us to judge or be judged, but he is Christian. It is now most embarrassing, that is underlined 3 times, to us that we are related to you.
Amidst all of this, Congressman Kinzinger has repeatedly urged Christian leaders, and perhaps even members of his own family, to admit their mistakes and lead their flock out of darkness and into the truth. Congressman Kinzinger certainly thinks this is possible to have this sort of transformation. I just don't think that it is probable. The fact of the matter is the nonsense that some of these white Christian evangelical churches spew, whether it's the men are superior or women must subject themselves to men or LGBTQ is the devil's worship, all of this creates a sort of hatred and environment that, in my view, makes the rise of a Donald Trump possible. I suppose there's always a chance that there will be some miraculous transformation and that suddenly church leaders will go from this nonsense to actually accepting, okay, maybe we were wrong and maybe there is some truth here that we've been ignoring. I'm just not so confident, or at least as confident as Adam Kinzinger seems to be, that this sort of thing is possible. In any case, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.